What's up, guys? Rob from the Light and Lamp podcast here, and I'm back bringing you another mini pod type episode. And once again, I am wearing my Islanders gear, but I'm wearing specifically the fisherman gear for a very, very specific reason, and that is today. NHL Seattle officially announced their name, and they also officially put out their logo and what their jerseys will be looking like when they start playing in 2021 2022. And so I kind of just wanted to give you my thoughts, my opinions, if anybody cares. Um, I thought it was funny to wear the good old fisherman when talking about the new name, because the new name is officially the Seattle Kraken. Now, this is a name that people have been throwing around for a little bit. People have been saying they suspected that it was going to be, if not the name, then definitely was in consideration. Some other names that were thrown around were the Seattle Grunge. I think somebody threw out the Seattle Sound. Um, Somebody said Seattle Seahawks, or not Seahawks, the Sea Wolves. Seahawks, obviously the football team, but somebody said Sea Wolves. I think the name Kraken is great. I like it a lot. I think it's much better than some of the other stuff we had heard. Like I said, some of the other names that were tossed around were like Seattle Grunge, Seattle Sound. I was like, not really feeling it. But Seattle Kraken, I think, is a great name for the hockey club. It's cool. It's catchy. And one thing I specifically like about it, let's take a look at the jerseys here. This is what the Seattle Kraken's jerseys currently look like, and I think it's fantastic. Um, the primary logo is an S, and the reason they stuck with the S is they said they wanted to acknowledge the history of the Seattle Metropolitans, which I think is cool that they kept a little bit of the history there with the S type logo. If you zoom in and you really look at the S logo, you can see that the dark blue stripe coming through the middle is actually a tentacle. You see the little nubs for the suction cups on the tentacle there. And obviously they have the red eye for the Kraken itself. And then the shoulder logo is a simple, nice, but elegant anchor. I think the primary logo is a little bit plain for my liking. I saw some logos that were like an S wrapped around an anchor with the tentacles coming out from the bottom, with like splash marks from like what the ocean would be. I think that was a really cool idea. Um, Obviously, the thing is, as like I said before, the name Seattle Kraken, it lends itself to being an alternate jersey very well. So there's a lot of options the Seattle Kraken can take with designing their alternate logo. I mean, you can have the Kraken itself, like tearing apart a ship. You can just have the Kraken. You can have maybe just like a blackened outline of the Kraken with two beady red eyes coming through the middle. Something like that. Like, there's so much you can do with that name and the design for an alternate logo. So I can understand why they went maybe a little conservative with the primary logo. You don't want to come out with something too goofy, too silly, that'll drive people's interest away. I think the logo is clean. I think it's nice. A little plain, but it has some nice touches in there, and I do like the nod to the old Metropolitans simple S logo. So overall, the logo, I would say I like it. I'm not in love with it, but I like it. But what I do love is I absolutely love the color palette they have gone with. I mean, take a look at that navy blue into light blue with just a dash of red. That is so clean and nice. I'm absolutely in love with this color palette. I think they knocked it right out of the park when they designed these jerseys. It's simple, it's clean, but it's plain and efficient. I wouldn't even use the word plain, actually. Take that back. It's simple, it's clean, and it's efficient. And I absolutely love the color palette of what they've done here with the Seattle Kraken. It reminds me a little bit of the old navy dark blue Hartford Whalers jerseys, and I really like those. And I just don't know if there's much else to say outside of just an awesome color palette with a clean, nice logo. And the shoulder logo, like I said, it's simple and it's efficient. I imagine that there will be, you know, changes over time to it. Maybe add a little bit more flair, a little bit more pizzazz. But I mean, as it stands, I'd 100% buy one of these jerseys. If I had to pick one, I would buy the home jersey. I've always been more of a colored jersey versus white jersey kind of guy. But I would totally buy one of these jerseys. If I was a fan of hockey in Seattle, dude, I'd be so jazzed. I would have pre-ordered one already if I was a fan of hockey in Seattle. Um, and just the name Kraken can give itself so much to a fan culture. And I think that's one of the huge parts about hockey that a lot of people underestimate is the fan culture. The way the fans interact with the game make it so unique. You know, almost every team has something that they do that makes it unique. You know, the Islanders have the yes, 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 and the Hey Josh Bailey song. The Ranger fans have their Pot Van Sucks chant. The Detroit Red Wings, when playoffs come around, they have an octopus thrown on the ice, and they have an octopus that comes down from the ceiling. Montreal fans have their ole, ole, ole chant. I mean, just there's some, when the fans get involved and make something that make your hockey club uniquely theirs, I think that's great. And there's so much you can do with the Kraken. You can have, you can call your arena, if you want, you can call it like the Barge or, the Ship or whatever, some nickname that the fans can come up with and make their own. Like the Islanders had the Barn, People are already saying that we're going to be calling the new UBS arena at Belmont Park the Stable, something even if it's silly like that, like Madison Square Garden is just the Garden, the Prudential Center is the Rock. Just like something that can make the fans experience uniquely Seattle. You can call it the Barge, the Ship, the Shipwreck. If you want to be a little tongue in cheek, whatever you want to call it, you can come up with some chants and stuff like that. Regarding release the Kraken and all that. There's so much you can do with the name in terms of creating an alternate logo, creating an alternate jersey. The color palette is so clean and unique, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I just think Seattle hockey has started off on a absolutely tremendous foot in terms of everything. I mean, everything's coming together for them right now. I would say a good 85% of the people that I've seen reacting to these jerseys love it. I mean, take a look when you scroll through. Maybe not the comments, because of course there's going to be trolls like, you can obviously see on the screen right now, this Scott Bowler guy's like, surely there's the entrance, me, whatever. 90%, 85 to 90% of the people are saying how clean this is, and I'm totally in agreement. I would say, honestly, in terms of jerseys right now, this is like a 9.5 out of 10 jersey. I absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. It's so clean, and I can't wait to see what it looks like actually on the ice. And I've seen some really, really cool things that people have already theorized. Actually, let me see if I can pull it up for you guys. Just hold on one sec. Something people have actually theorized, what like goalie pads could look like for somebody who is playing on the Seattle Kraken, and it's just absolutely incredible. Let's see if I can put this on the screen for you guys. I mean, come on. Like, look at that. That's so cool. That's so awesome. It's sick. It's just great. I mean, I honestly think that Hockey Seattle knocked it out of the ballpark with the name, the colors, and even the logo. I wouldn't say knocked out of the park, but I'd say is completely respectable. And I like it. I do like the logo. It's just weird because when the Vegas Golden Knights came into the league and they released their name, everyone's just kind of like, okay, don't really see the connection here. Obviously, you would have to know that the owner was a West Point grad to really kind of start to see the connection. And they released the jersey, and everyone's like, oh, the jerseys are cool. Like, they have a little bit of pizzazz. But, I mean, just the hype surrounding. And that's not just to throw shade at the Vegas Golden Knights at all. I mean, they're obviously doing a great job as a hockey organization. They're a very successful organization for how young they are. And I personally like the jersey. I think the jerseys are cool. I think the logo is cool. But I do have to say that the hype surrounding the Seattle release is absolutely off the charts, and I have to agree. I think I can definitely see myself. I don't really consider myself a merch collector that much for specifically teams that aren't the Islanders. Like, obviously I have a lot of Islander merch, and obviously I have a lot of general NHL stuff like you guys have seen on my wall before. But I don't really collect merch that is like, oh, I specifically have like a Rangers hat or like a Devils jersey or something like that. But I could totally see myself getting like a Seattle hat just because, like, dude, it's so cool. So I just kind of want to share my thoughts with you guys, share the news. Yes, it officially is time to release the Kraken in the National Hockey League. So thank you guys for listening. I hope to see you guys again whenever we do our next piece of content.